Welcome back to Pi m squared. Today we'd be going over problem number 14 of the 2019 Pi m squared sprint. How many ways are there from point A to point B along the lines of the grid if you can only go right and down? So for this type of problem, you want to know how many ways there are to get from A to this point, which we call C, and from C to this point, B. So once we can get the number of ways from A to C, we will multiply that with the number of ways to get from C to B, and that will give us our answer. So first of all, how you would solve problems with any sort of grid is, say you have a grid that looks like this. What you have to realize is you can only go down 3 times, and you can only go to the right 4 times. The only thing is you can go right and then down, or then down and then right. There are multiple ways you could arrange this, right? So it basically becomes a permutation with you trying to arrange it. So like it's D, 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 R, 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 or D, R, D, R, 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 D, or something like that. We want to see how many ways there are to do that. So this essentially just becomes a permutation. So you have 7 total here. So it'd be 7 factorial over, all the D's are the same. So it'd be 3 factorial over all the R's are the same. So it'd be 4 factorial. So you'd end up with 7 times 5, which would equal 35. 35 ways. So the formula for problems like these generally are the number of ways from A to B equals D plus R factorial over D factorial R factorial. Okay, so let's apply that to this problem here. Okay, so we have from A to C, 1, 2, 3 D's and 3 R's. So if we use that formula, then we use 6 factorial over 3 factorial, which will give us 20. So there are 20 ways from A to C. Sorry, let me just get rid of this square here. Okay, so there are 20 ways from A to C. Now we want to know the ways from C to B. So we can use this formula once again. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 D's and 1, 2, 3, 4 R's. So if we apply this formula again, we would get 8 factorial over 4 factorial, which equals 70. So there are 70 ways from C to B, which gives us our answer. If there are 20 ways from A to C and 70 ways from C to B, then if we multiply them together, there are 1,400 ways from point A to point B. So as long as you remember this formula, from any point A to B in a grid, the formula is D plus R factorial over D factorial R factorial. As long as you remember this formula, you should be fine. Thank you for watching.